Hey guys, my name is DevChooks. In this video, we're going to be setting up Redux, and for that, we're going to be using Redux Toolkit. The last video, we set up the backend. You can see it running, and the front end too is also running. So today, we're going to be setting up the Redux on the front end. So let's get started. First thing I want you to do is simply just go to Google and type Redux Toolkit. Select the first option and click on Get Started. This is how to get started. So scroll down right here. We already have an existing app, so this first option is not for us. So go to existing app. We're using Yarn, so just click on Yarn. Copy this, close. So cue the terminal, run this, Yarn add this. Next one, just while that is running, copy the next one. And let's wait for this to finish. I'll paste this here. I'll run that also. I don't think we have any other thing to do right here. The next thing we want to do is to go to Quick Start. And here we're going to set up our Redux Toolkit folders. So the first thing, in your general folder structure, create a folder called Store. And then in that folder called Store, make sure you're in the folder called Store. Let's create a file called store.js. All right, it's in this store that we're going to create all our slices and all of that. So while all of that is running, just copy this and paste here, save. Then we're going to go to index. So first of all, let's just create another folder called slices. And then we're just going to create a slice called counter slice. So counter.slice. That's in the JS. It's just to help us out. And then we're going to copy all the information we have here. Yeah, so just click on this copy here and paste it. All right, save. Yeah. Next thing we want to do, and please note that the reason why we created this in small letters is because it's not a React component, it's just a file. All right, sorry. So while you're doing that, the next thing we want to do is to make sure that we also bring this into our app.js, which is underscore app.js. All right, not here, not in documents, but in underscore app.js. So the first thing we want to do is I want to import store. I want to import it from where we saved it, store. All right, next thing we also want to import provider, and that's going to come from React Redux. So provider, provider. All right, I'm not seeing any suggestions, so let me go and just copy this. And since I'm not seeing any suggestions, I also have to go and reconfirm that I have React Redux installed. So package.json, React Redux. Okay. All right, so let's go back. And what we're basically going to do is that we're going to bring in this provider here. So provider, and the provider is going to wrap around our parent component. And then one more thing we need to pass into this provider is something called store, which is the same store that we created initially. All right. Let's just go and make sure that we're not missing anything. All right. So last thing is that we're going to bring in the reducer into the store. All right. So let's go to store. And then we're going to say const counter. Remember that this is just a test. All right. We're still going to have the one for ourselves. All right. So like the user slides, whatever other slides that we need. So counter reducer from at sorry, I'm using const. That's crazy. Imports counter reducer from at store slash slices slash counter dot slice. All right. And here we're going to bring in the reducer. I'm going to call this counter and then counter reducer. I hope that's correct. Yep. So when we go to, let's go to this ID page, which is the same page that is showing up right here. Reload this. All right, our server is not running. Yandev. I hope I'm not too fast or confusing. I'm just trying to read the time I have. So this should show up. Yeah. Yep. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a button. And it's going to be, well, we don't need to test that. We can test that when we start using the Redux, but this should work anyway. So we're going to test that when we start using the Redux. In the next video, we're going to be setting up React query, which is what we're going to be using to make calls from the backend. It's just like Axios and Fetch and all of that. But this is a more structured one that helps us to carry out automatic refreshes and all of that. So it's cool. One more thing I'm going to do before I continue is I'm going to branch out from main, because right now I'm still on main. So I'm just going to branch out. So I'm going to say git checkout b dev, and from there I'm going to make my commit and all of that. So you can proceed and do that on your end. Same thing I'm going to do on the back end. I'm going to keep the back end. Say git checkout b dev. So just in case we make any mistake, we don't get to spoil what's already working. I'm sure you already know the uses of GitHub, right? Or Git. So git checkout b dev. Yep, and dev. That should be cool. Yeah. So in the backend, I've not published it, so I can just publish it for the backend. Now we have a dev branch on GitHub. And for this, I'm just going to create my commit. See you in the next video.